let's understand how Revit is used and what are the like what Revit is exactly. So Revit helps you in creating 2D drawings just like any other software. For example, AutoCAD. It is as good as creating plans, elevations, and sections as we create in AutoCAD, but with much more detail and with all the 3D elements in it. So Revit is a BIM software which makes it go beyond just drafting representations. It also helps you in tracking costs and project timelines. Um, as Revit offers collaboration with all other softwares, all other departments, it's very easy to coordinate, and there is a very clear communication with all the aspects of construction like mechanical, electrical, plumbing, etc. Definitely, Revit offers a multi-platform drafting system. So yeah, so how can you create drawings in Revit is Revit definitely helps you in creating conceptual designs, detailed designs, analysis, documentations, fabrications, construction, 4D, 3D, everything. So Revit has 7D dimensions. We'll learn about it in the further workshop. Construction logistics and definitely how operation and maintenance and renovation comes into picture. We'll see when we talk about the 7D factor of Revit. So, I'll just give you a brief introduction about myself. I am Ayushi Nigurkar. I'm an architect and I was working with an international firm that specializes in hospitality design. I have been doing extensive work on Revit since 2 years, and I have specialization in generally large scale buildings. From my experience, let me tell you that Revit offers a complete platform for construction and design of the building. Yeah, you can move forward. Yeah, so let us understand what B.I.M exactly is. So, building information modeling generates a 3D representation of a physical structure and all of its characteristics. Uh, if you can see in the flow chart, these are all the aspects of building information modeling. So it is a highly collaborative process that allows architects, engineers and contractors, even manufacturers and other construction professionals to plan, design and construct a structure as a building with one 3D model. So everyone can simultaneously work on Revit. The goal of using Revit B.I.M modeling is to create a 3D model that users can manipulate basically. Revit BIM modeling enables you to establish relationships between spaces, materials, and various systems with physical structures. As we can see here, we have construction logistics, we have operation and maintenance, we have renovation. So a BIM Revit can be used for every step of the process from planning to designing to construction. Yeah, so if you can see here, this video will showcase why BIM is booming so much in the construction industry. So basically, global trends are making AEC projects. AEC is architecture, engineering, and construction. So global trends are making AEC projects more complex, while advances in technology are helping the industry professionals to work more efficiently and effectively. This is where the B.I.M comes in. B.I.M is an intelligent model-based process that connects AEC professionals so that they can more efficiently design, build, and operate buildings and infrastructure through B.I.M or building information modeling. With B.I.M, designers can create digital 3D models that include data associated with physical and functional characteristics. The power of B.I.M is how it allows architects, engineers, and contractors to collaborate and coordinate models, giving everyone better insight into how their work fits into the overall project, ultimately helping them to work more efficiently. The data in the model defines the design elements and establishes its behavior and relationship between model and component, as you can see in here. So when an element in the model is changed, every view is updated with the new change appearing in sections, elevations, and sheet views. You can use the information in the model to improve your design before it's built, gaining faster buyers, convey the design intent into the fields, and more importantly, retain models intelligence from concept to construction. As you can see here, B.I.M provides insight over design constructability, improving the efficiency and effectiveness of the construction phase, and also providing a better understanding of the building's future operations and maintenance. Owner can use B.I.M for predictive maintenance, asset tracking, and facilities. When you work with B.I.M, you will experience reduced project risk, improved timelines and cost saving, and better project outcomes. So the power of Revit B.I.M is growing, and with cloud connected technologies, we can work together in all the new ways. As you can see, it is a very collaborative software driven by global trends. The AC industry is in the time of transformation, business that want to win. It's very easy to work, and it's very time saving, which is good for you, your clients, or when you are working in a college or you are student. It is a very time saving process which will help you in turn into more. You can get more time into developing your concepts than to just create the sheets and present it. So this is where Revit B.I.M will help you. Yeah. So if you see here, these are who can learn B.I.M. Definitely, as I said, AEC professionals, architecture students, fresh graduates, and early professionals that are aspiring to become B.I.M architects. Revit is your go-to software for construction industry. Why should we choose? What are the benefits of B.I.M? It is here to stay because it is a very easy, collaborative, and a very technical software in which everything is connected to one another. So it decreases your efforts and time, but the quality of work is as good or better than any other software. It has 70 design and documentation. It is an intelligent software. As you see what 70 stands for, and you'll understand how it is a better and intelligent software. It is the most accurate software, because you create the building into, it is exactly as good as creating the building into virtual reality. So as you know, decisions made, let's understand what 70 is. So the decisions made during design and construction phase can have significant knock-on effect on the running cost of the building over its lifespan, as you can see on the graph. As the project progresses, the cost of making changes increases and the ability to do so decreases. So, cost of operating a building is typically 4 times as much as designing. So, it's easier to integrate whole life cost estimation with building information modeling or Revit, enabling more accurate prediction and measurements of a building's performance through its entire life cycle. This process is what we call as a 7D B.I.M. At the early stage of Revit, it helps you to know which option is more effective by comparing alternative design options. As the design progresses, compare components based on their effect on the building performance. During the construction process, 70 B.I.M Revit captures as-built information, providing single source of information that indicates the expected performance of the completed building more accurately. Once the building is occupied, the actual performance can be captured and fed into the virtual model, which can allow you to monitor and improve your design procedures. So you see 70 beam is up and beyond just drawing representations of a building. It helps you not just create amazing construction drawings or presentation drawings. It also helps you it also helps you in analyzing your building into a whole 360-degree um, manner. Yeah. So if you can see here, this is what B.I.M. This is a summary of what B.I.M 70 stands for. So there's always a 3D element to it, which is your drafting, your construction documents, your 3D elements, your 3D modeling of the building. Then it's 4D, in which scheduling comes in. So scheduling basically means you have documentation of each and every element that you have used in your building, be it doors, be it windows, or any sort, because be it your floors, the type of floors, the type of paint you have used, you have each and every element in Revit can be documented and scheduled. Estimating, because you have the authority to and freedom to schedule and document, calculate everything. It is very easy to estimate. So you can cost plan your building through Revit. There's definitely, you can quality check it as close as possible, so you have a very good quality checking. Then you have 60 element. It is sustained. Why does sustainability come into picture is because Revit offers you a whole energy analysis process, in which you can you can do a good energy analysis of your building, and Revit also will tell you in which component should you improve on, so the energy analysis is much more better of the building. um, and 70 is the entire life cycle of the BIM. Let's just go through a project. So let's just go through a project that I have done, to understand how Revit can help you in creating amazing construction documents, how 70 comes into picture, and what things can you learn when you're attending this workshop. So this is an Hayat House project which has been done in Florida. So everything you see in here is as per US standards, US Code of Construction, and um, if you see here, these are the sheet indexes. So what I was saying when I was explaining you 70 is, you have everything documented, so you know exactly what amount of sheets are you putting in your construction documents. This is a general project information, so you understand your entire site context, you know where your building is, and you can create this entire information for your client, or when you're making a project, so that you have everything in hand, the amount of rooms, the type of rooms, and everything. Yeah. So these are the type of legends that you can create through Revit, in which, yeah, these are the occupancy loads that have been calculated using Revit itself. So if you can zoom in here, you can see the occupancy load has been calculated. So Revit has these options. When you are scheduling your components, it gives you the option to calculate everything you have. So you can calculate gross area, you can calculate your perimeters, you can calculate the floor areas, you can calculate everything in Revit. It's very easy. We'll understand it when we'll have the workshop. These are just general abbreviations. We move forward. Yeah. So when you see here, yeah. So when you see here, this is a basic site plan that we have created in Revit. So everything, if yeah, you can zoom into the parking ones. So when we see the parking layout, you can see we have used a proper site massing for parking. We have used proper parking spots. We have the families for parking. We have modeled our curbs into the parking, into the site plan using the massing and site. We have complete topographical drawings of our buildings, and here you can see that we have all the outdoor spaces properly planned, all the families are placed, we have all the dimensions placed, and this site plan will give you an overall view of your relationship with the site of your building. So these are the type of drawings that we'll try to achieve through our workshops. And if you can see, we have placed everything from a transformer to generator to everything. These are basically the firefighting, the fire rating plans. In here, you can see the walls are color coded. So Revit gives you option, a tool in which you can fire rate your buildings. So you know the fire rating of your building. So these are the fire resistance plan. These are the color codings which you'll see in the below legend. So if you can zoom into the rated wall legend below once, yeah, yeah, yeah. So if you can zoom into the below, yeah, the rated wall legend, yeah. So you can see it's a you can see what wall is a fire, what are rated firewall. These legends are also created using Revit. We'll see this how we can move forward. Yeah. So these are basically typical plans. These are typical floors, which are, because this is an hotel building, it has all the rooms, which we call keys. So these are the room keys which we have, the types of rooms and what wall, what fire rated wall is placed where. We can move forward. All the plans would be typical floor plans for all the room layout basically. Yeah. So let's see this into detail. So this is basically when you start your project, the first thing you do is create the walls. You understand the construction type that you are going to use for your project, and then you start creating the walls. So when you are creating any building, be it a residential, commercial, anything, the first thing you do is select whether which part of the building would have bearing walls or bearing columns or beams and columns, and what kind of wall is going to be there. So there are interior walls that have different thickness, maybe different materials. Then you have exterior walls that are in here, because this is a US based project, they have exterior walls which are bearing, they have exterior walls which are non-bearing. So when you, if you see the difference, just can you move on to the first row once? Yeah. So if you can see the exterior bearing walls, and the difference between exterior non-bearing wall and bearing wall is the material has changed. So when you see an exterior bearing wall, we have used CMUs, we have we have CMU block components in Revit which we have used in here. We have created each and every layer that goes into making of the wall, be it gypsum, be it furring, be it the tracks that are going to come in here. We have all the CMU walls, and then yeah, you can go through all the walls and you can see each and every layer of each wall is defined as perfectly. And these are the only walls. This is not just a drawing. This wall you see is made in 3D. So these are the actual walls that you are going to use into your project. So these are all the types of wall that are being used in this project. You can see all the layers that are coming in each and every wall. Each and every layer is changing as the wall changes. This is how the this is the level of detailing that goes into a project when when you're designing everything in Revit. If we move to the next sheet, we can see we have also designed the roofs and the floors. So if you can see here, the roofs and floors can is also customized. So when you're working in any other software, you don't have the freedom to customize each and everything that you're making. It is just basic 3D. We have it is just basic 2Ds. We have some 3D elements. We just provide thickness. But in here, we can provide the actual layers that are going to come into the actual building when it is constructed. So moving forward, yeah, we can move forward on to the next. Yeah. So this is a basic floor plan that we have. In here, you can see all the detailing that you can do into Revit and which no other software offers. So if you so if you can see here, we have placed all the families that are going to come into our project. You can see the outdoor pool. These, if you can see the families, these are 3D families. So when you place a family on one of the one space, it automatically is reflected on into all other views. So in every different view in which you see outdoor pool, you see these families, you see the pool. It will have exact dimensions, it will have everything as in this. You can see the grid lines in here. So let me tell you the importance. Why is grid line so important? When you are coordinating everything with mechanical, electrical, and plumbing team, this is where grids play the most important role. It makes it very easier for us to coordinate through grids. Can you please mute yourself? Thank you. Yeah, and if you can zoom in here, you can see this is a canopy that we have placed. So we'll understand. Can we move to the first sheet, please? Yeah. Yeah, so this is a canopy fill. So we'll understand how do we make the families of elements like canopies. How do we, if you see the staircase adjacent to it, we'll understand how do we exactly design our staircases for each and every project. We have a unique staircase for each and every building that you are going to design for your lifetime. So we'll understand how do we create stairs, how do we connect all the layers, how do we design our landings, what are the options that Revit has, how many types of stairs can you design to Revit. These are all the things that we are going to learn in this workshop. And this is the level of detailing that we are going to try to achieve. As you see, we have each and everything that comes into a hotel room, the doors, the windows, the families, the bed, everything. And you can if we can move to the next sheet. Yeah, in here you can see we have a lot of section marks and elevation marks. So these what Revit offers is when you are creating a plan, it automatically if you place a section, it automatically takes all the 3D elements into the section and creates a section for you. So it is a very time saving process, and all you have to do is detail out that section as per your customization and your wish, and make it as representable as possible for either your client or your school or your jury if you are a student. So this is where Revit plays a very important role. Um, if you can zoom onto one room, we can just see how each element is placed. So if you can see here, when yeah, so we can easily make good layouts in which it is very easier to see the whole circulation of the room. You can see the thickness of the partition wall is different, the thickness of the interior partition is different, the thickness of exterior wall is different. Each and every window, if you see, has been documented with a tag. The W1 is the tag for the window. So when we are tagging each and everything, it makes it very easy for us to schedule it or create a database for it in the further stage of the construction. So we'll just move forward. What When you are seeing this plan, you'll see that we have a lot of callouts. Yeah, so this is a roof plan that we have made. It showcases all the slopes that are going to come into here. So when you are making a roof in Revit has very vast options of making roofs for a building. You can make any kind of roof, be it parametric, be it a simple roof or a sloping or any kind of roof. It is very easier to construct roofs in Revit. um, you can see we have placed our MAUs, we have exactly placed our elevation marks. If you can zoom onto the 66 inch mark here, here, yeah, yeah. You can see the even here you can see the ratio of the slope that has been. This is entirely done by Revit itself. All you have to do is design the roof as per your choice, and Revit will give you this freedom to annotate is as correctly as possible. We can move forward. Yeah, we can move forward. We can skip the sheets. I'll explain them later. We can move forward. So these are this so okay, this is a kind of schedule that we have made. This is a material schedule. So this is what Revit is about. When you are designing Revit, you create a floor, you assign it a material, be it wood, be it concrete, be it a tile finish on it, be it a paint finish on the walls, be it the trim finish for the doors. Anything that any finish that you put in the project is documented in Revit, and you can create a nice schedule out of it, which will be very useful if you have to give all the finished data to the vendor, the amount, the exact quantity of finish. It rarely happens that Revit messes it up. It is always perfect. The no material wastage would happen, and this is where Revit plays an important role in documentation of each and every finish. Even if you are putting a particular skirting on a single room in the project, which is at this scale, the Revit will document it for you. So we'll see how we create these schedules in our workshop. What options do Revit have? Revit has a lot of options to create easy schedules which are as accurate as possible. We can move forward. So in here you can see the example of the finish schedule you have. This was a public area finish schedule. If we just once we can zoom, we can know what kind of yeah. So you have so if you see here, we have the name of the rooms, and Revit automatically takes the room number which you have assigned to the room and the level on which the room is placed. Revit calculates the area for yourself, as I have said, the finish that you have assigned to the ceiling, the floor, everything has been taken. The base in here is the skirting which I was talking about. If you see here, A, B, C, D is the walls we have in the room. So these are the four walls that we have in the room, and the finishes that are going to come into the projects. So if you see here, the finishes are named as WC6, WC4, or anything like that, B72, for example. So we have a document supporting this, which in which you, if you go to that document and search B50, you'll know what finish it is, what manufacturer, what supplier will supply it, and every information that you need for a for any room finish. Yes, when we move forward. Yeah. So this is basically an overall finish plan that you can see. If you can see here, we have created a customized finish for our our lobby area. We have placed each and every tile in there to create this pattern of floor for the finish. In further sheets, we'll see the enlarged plans for each and every area, in which you'll get a much more clear idea on how everything is dependent on each other, and how we can how we can create very clear and proper diagrams for everything that comes into a project. So this is just an overall view. You will in further sheets you'll see that we have enlarged details for each and every plan that we have been working on. So we can move forward here. Yeah, you can move forward. Yeah, so if you see here, this is everything that we are making in Revit is done in 3D. So when why is Revit used for making construction documents is it it is very easy to detail out each and every construction detail that you require. So it is, if you require a construction detail to create a column and beam joint, it is very easy in Revit. You place your beam, you place your a column, you design the joint, and it will create enlarged construction details for you. You just have to annotate it as per your need. You can see here how the roof is installed. This is a potecocher. Potecocher means the entrance canopy of a hotel. So this is the detail of how the entrance canopy is going to be constructed. What at what layer of what wall is the joint going to come, and how the joint are going to happen, and what are the elements that, so you can see the control joints, you can see steel tubes in here, you can see everything detailed. So this is the level of construction detail that you can do in Revit, and we'll understand how do we achieve this when we are actually designing a project in our workshop. Now we can move forward. Yeah, we'll see this example of an enlarged plan. So as I explained in the overall plan, this is an outdoor pool area. Now in here you can see each and every furniture is tagged. So this is the exact layout that we have seen in the overall plan. This is just a enlarged part cut out of the plan and put in here, so that our ideas are more clearer about the layout, how the construction is going to happen. The dimensioning is in here is done, so it is very easy to lay all the walls while you are constructing. And you can see each and every furniture is tagged. We'll see how tags work, how we use tags in Revit, why we use tags in Revit when we are working on the project. If you can move forward, you see construction drawings of this construction plan for this also. Can we move to the next sheet? Yeah, in here you can see the elevations. So when you see the elevation, you'll get the exact idea onto the scale, and the scale of the room, the finish, the length of the finish, the height of the finish, the height of the room, and each and every small detail that you require when you're constructing a space is in here. So even when you are not physically present on the site, this document will be as handy as you yourself being present at the site, and no work will stop. And these are so representative that any college student can use it to create drawings, elevations, very impressive elevations, render it. You have realistic elevations option, you have hidden lines, you have a lot of options that we'll explore when we are actually doing the designing on the Revit. Yeah, yeah, we can move forward. Yeah, so if you can zoom onto the construction plan once. This is the finished plan, the previous sheet, please. Yeah. So in here you can see each and every dimensioning that has been done. So you can see when you are constructing a building, you require the thickness of the layers of the wall that are going to come in, the grid to grid dimensions and the overall dimensions. So these are the three levels of dimensioning that we do when we are constructing a construction plan. We'll see how this dimensioning is exactly done, how we place the dimensions when there is an opening coming onto the wall, when there is no opening coming onto the wall. We'll see each and everything in detail. You can see in here everything is dimensioned to such accuracy that it is very easier to construct onto the site. Yeah, next sheet please. Yeah, we can move forward. So now you'll as the PDF will move forward, you'll see the enlarged plans as I explained earlier for each and every space in here. So you see enlarged details, enlarged elevations, and you'll see all the details that you require when you're constructing a particular space, be it lobbies, be it your bar areas or anything else. So we'll just go through these sheets once, understand how the construction plans are made, how the furniture layouts are placed, how the finished plans are made. These are the finished plan that I was talking about. You'll see how the elevations are placed and what kind of elevations you can make when you are using Revit. These are the level of detailing that can go when you are creating a project in Revit. We can just go through all the sheets. So, yeah, these are again the same plans. We have construction plans, we have detail, elevation, enlarged details. It is the same format for all, because this is an hotel projects. There are a lot of pieces that comes into picture when you are designing a hotel. So you will see a lot of sheets that has all the detailed information about each and every space. We'll just move forward with the sheets once and move to the millwork details, uh, which we can create using Revit, which is very helpful for the interior designers, also architects definitely, and by MEP I'll explain, because when we are designing a structure onto the wall, be it a cabinet or anything, and if the pipes are going through the wall, we need to be coordinated with the MEP department and know that nothing clashes. So Revit gives you an option of clash detection too. So when all the models are linked together, we can do a clash detection test in which we'll understand if anything is if any mechanical duct is clashing with any plumbing pipe or anything like that is happening. So the Revit plays a very Revit is a very collaborative software in this sense. We can keep, yeah, you can just keep going through the sheets to understand the level of detailing that we can do in the Revit and what we learn in this workshop. uh, yeah, so in here, when you're seeing these drawings, all the links are loaded. So you're also seeing all the MEP, all the mechanical ducts that are going to come into the picture. When you're seeing the detailing, you'll understand the ducts, you'll understand all the pipes, you will know where the columns are, or where the bearing wall, non-bearing wall, in this case, and everything. Even the lighting link is loaded in here, so that the architectural lights and the lighting at the actual engineered lights do not clash on site on time. So when we say we are designing in Revit, it is as accurate as creating a building virtually. Yeah, these are some working drawings that you can create in Revit. These are the window panes. These are okay. So let's just zoom into the window schedule once on the previous sheet. Yeah. So this is the kind of schedule that you can create in Revit using. There are a lot of options to add fields, to remove fields, and by sorting and grouping, you can. So each and every window that has been used in this very project has been scheduled in this video and has all the information. So if you want, you can give this to your client, and he'll in one look he'll understand the amount of windows he need. And if you give to a vendor, it is very easy for him to estimate it for you, and it just makes your work easy. So so all the elements that are in the window, the material, the height, width, length, everything is scheduled by the Revit for you when you're designing it accurately. You can move forward. Yeah. So these are the kind of elevations that you can make. We can make much more, as this is in construction document. We will see in further session that how we can create more presentable elevations also. As this is in construction document, these are the kind of elevations you need when you are giving out a construction documents. You can see how clearly everything has been rendered, and you can see the windows, the tags of the windows, you can see the storefront tags, you can see all the details that are going to, you can see all the call outs below. So you know that these detail, if you can just zoom onto a call out once in here, yeah. So if you see this call out, you'll clearly understand the SF3 detail, that is the storefront 3 detail, is at the detail number 3 at sheet A503A. So this is how clear Revit is about its drawing. So everything is interrelated. The storefront here has a detail on sheet A for 503A. Now we can move forward. You can see more elevation drawings in here. These are the sections that we have created. So you can see how detailed is the section, the amount of You can even see a single family that we have placed in the previous sheets. So when we say Revit is a 3D software, this is how interrelated it is. When you place one family onto one view, it appears in all the views. So you can see the sections, the you can even see each and every element that we have used on the wall, on the roof that we talked about before in this section. So it is very informative when it comes to the actual construction of the building. This is why we call Revit as a concept to construction document. These are more elevations. We can move forward. Yeah, these are more elevations from another view. Yeah, this is a section again. These are some details. We can move forward. These are wall sections to know the thickness of the wall and how the wall profile is changing as we can keep moving forward. So these are the details that we can see in here. These are the construction details for each and every joint, the ceiling to wall joint, the wall to wall joint, the shafts that are going to come in here. So these are all created because everything is in 3D and each and everything has its layers intact. So we just have to take a call out from our one of our joints, put it onto the sheet and just detail it as per our convenience. So this is the type of detail that you can provide in Revit by using easy tools. It is very easy. You also have an option to design to give some elements in 2D, which is easier when you are making a presentation drawing. Move forward. Yeah, these are all the construction details. Yeah, so just one, yeah. So if we see here, this is an bar detail in here. You can see how, if you can zoom onto one detail, please. Can we go back to previous sheet once? Yeah. So if you see the detail number 4, overhead storage section of the bar, you'll see how the storage is going to be constructed. So you can see all the layers for the construction. If you can zoom above once, yeah, in here, yeah, in here, yeah. So if you see here, we have the information of what thing is going to come in here. So this is, yeah. So this is a 3 by 8 dia DeWalt. We'll not go into the much detail of the material being used here, but how the connection is going to happen to the ceiling and how the overhead storage is going to stay into the building. How the soffit wall is connected to the ceiling and how it will hold the weight of the overhead storage, and how the bars are going to be connected in here, and how, if you can see here, this is how the the steel bars and storage overhead is going to be connected to each other. Yeah, we can move forward. So all the sheets you see now are these kind of construction details for each and every element that are going to be constructed on site. We call this as millwork details. So all the millwork that is going to happen. Yeah, if you can see here, these are some of the 3Ds that we have created using some plugins in Revit. We'll also learn about what plugins we are going to use and how which plugin helps us to create these interesting 3Ds. So these are the 3D views that we have created using Revit plugins, definitely. We can move forward. Yeah, these are some interior 3Ds that we have created. Also, while we are just going through the 3D, we'll also understand how Dynamo works. So in here, while creating schedules, we have used Dynamo in a lot of things while placing windows and doors, while placing the room number. So we'll understand how we use Dynamo while we are working in Revit, and you will be provided with some 10 to 15 plus scripts of Dynamo and a lot of plugins software, free plugin software to understand. Yeah, just move forward. So we'll understand our day-to-day schedule of the workshop now. So day one, we'll understand how Revit works. We'll try to understand the user interface that Revit offers. We'll get familiar with basic Revit terminologies that will be useful to us in the entire workshop. And then we'll have introduction to Revit architecture, how Revit helps you to design a building, and what are the tools that we use when we are using Revit architecture. We'll understand how to form a basis for Revit architecture and finalizing the concepts to work on. So yeah, just give me a moment. Yeah, so from day two, can we just go back once? From day two to day three, we'll learn how to model the walls of our project and understand wall specific wall types and wall constituents and how do we modify the wall types as we saw in our previous PDF. Day three, we'll understand modeling of floor plans and everything. So basically, we'll create our basic model of the building and start detailing it day by day. Yeah, we can just move forward. Yeah, and here, yeah. So in here you can see a video in which you'll understand how do you model the floors of your project. So when add the materials to your floors and understand how to change materials for different kind of areas. This will help you to create a very presentable plan, say your first draft of the client. So this is not just AEC based software. This is also for presentation drawings or drawings that you have to make for your juries or anything like that. So you can see the correct grid placements in here and the sectional lines. We learn how do we take and place sections and elevations into the project and portray as much detail as possible using just Revit. Yeah, it as compared to any other software, Revit provides much more realistic selection of materials, which are very easy to place and easy to use. We'll understand how that works. So once we assign one material to one type of floor, we can use it anywhere and it will display the same material. You can just move forward. Yeah, this is a plan from the PDF that we saw. Yeah, so day 5 to day 8 we'll have a interaction, a question and answer session on to as much we have learned previously and understand that we have any doubts and try to clear them. Day 6 we'll start with understanding how roofing works with Revit along with all the roof systems that can be designed using Revit tools. Yeah, and then on day 7 we'll detail our floor plans and day 8 we'll see how we place our sheets and views. So in this video, we'll understand various types of roof that can be made with the help of Revit. Like you can see here, we start with a basic wall layout and then creating roof footprint over it. Once you are done with your footprint, you decide the slope you want to achieve, and you can see a shed roof modeled here. There you can see a pitch roof and a gabled roof. You can see here we are creating gabled roof with a extension. You can even create a gabled roof by using simple Revit commands. We create a reference plane. This is a roof by extrusion. The method of creating roof, the ones we saw before, were done using roof by footprint. Attaching the walls to the roof will give you a result you desire. It will give a very stable structure. We can see a clear story roof. It is a kind of double roof. We use the offset command and for this and to create the footprints two times. And these are all the previous one was a butterfly roof. These are all the kinds of roof that you can create using Revit. So Revit is a very versatile software when it comes to creating all the elements that we require for creating a building. Yeah, so if you can see here, this is an annotation video. Um, you can see how the plan is annotated with proper dimensioning, windows, doors, window tags, door tags, the number of steps that are going to come into the building, grids, dimensions, and everything. Yeah, we can move forward. Yeah. So day 9, we'll understand of how why is linking of MEP important, and we'll understand how we link our MEP models. Then we'll move on to our schedules, the door and window schedules. Once we are done placing our doors and windows, we'll create construction documents as we saw in the PDF. We'll understand how the tags works, and we'll have a question and answer session after day 8 is done. Then we'll then have an introduction to 3D and how 3D views are being created, and then we'll have the introduction to you know the setting up of the angle for 3D view, the walkthroughs that come with the 3D view, and how you create exterior and interior 3D views in Revit. Yeah. So just this is a forward video of creating a room legend or a schedule. In this video, you can see how we create a very basic legend and schedule in Revit. So for this, you start placing your room boundaries and start naming your rooms. Now you have your area allocations with you. You will start with color coding them for ease of understanding. So each room here is having a unique color assigned to it. As you start assigning colors, Revit will automatically start making the legend for you. We'll start with the schedule to show information about the room. Like if you can see in here, it will show all the perimeter, etc. This can be done using sorting and grouping in here. And we have a room legend for us ready, in which you know which floor designates which room. For example, bathroom. Yeah, they are creating the schedule here, which I explained. So you'll have everything, all the perimeter area of each and every room. This is how the schedule is created. We learn this, and you have an entire room legend and schedule ready with you. If we see in this video, we have our plan sections and elevations. We can make our elevations more informative and presentable in Revit, adding components like trees, vehicles, etc. Using Revit graphic displays in creating shadows to add more interest in your videos, adding elements like vehicles, trees, and everything, etc. And everything else. So Revit offers an option to make realistic views that showcase realistic material, colors, and textures. Adding, so you can see we are adding reveals to define boundaries and highlighting the members in um, uh, each and every element, which will give it a more better a depth and elevation treatment. We'll create depths, proper massing of the site, adding more effective materials like glass, and adding glass effect like we saw in there. So you see a lot of things can go when we are constructing the elevation. In this video, you can see the creating of construction documents and setting up sheets when we are done with our drawings. Here we can see the construction details of to the drawings, and you know how we take the callouts and detail, and how we create basic sheets which are as informative and as real as correct as possible. So here you can see how we adjust our scale, how we adjust our far clip to show our drawings, and how we set up sheets, how we place our views on the sheets. Yeah, we can move forward. Yeah, so from day 15, we'll start to introduce Dynamo, and we'll provide you with 10 plus scripts for Dynamo. We'll see how and on what elements Dynamo works. Then we'll use some Revit plugins for rendering. uh, some examples are given in here. Then we'll have a question and answer section. Then we'll have an introduction to Revit high-rise buildings, and understand how Revit works when it comes to high-rise building. In here you can see a building that we have created. These are the works that I have done in here. You can see the building that have been created, and this is the coordinated structural model and MEP model basically for the building. We can move on to the next sheet. Yeah, so this is the view for the same that we have created. This is the 3D view of the same element, and these are the construction details like we saw. These are just some examples of the works that I have done using Revit. You can just go through them once, understand that these are the kind of 3Ds that you can make by using Revit and using good plugins with Revit. So yeah, you can see here the section, the site details, the staircase details, how staircase is to be constructed. Yeah, yeah. So let's just go through this video once. So as an architect, the right design software can help you. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just go through this video. So as I was saying, if you have a right design software, it can help you to realize and express your vision. It can also improve the way you work. Hence, architects and AEC industry find B.I.M is very effective and collaborative process. It helps to create conceptual and interactive views for building design. Why is Revit a multidisciplinary tool? Because it lets people or teams from various departments to operate at the same time, making the design very detailed and precise. That is Revit. That is what Revit. It is for mechanical, electrical, plumbing, as well as structural department. This makes it very easier to share and collaborate the data. Revit architecture is for all stages of design from concept to construction. Revit can be used to create site geometry and site analysis too, like you can see in here. It translates all the 3D data to schedules, which makes the calculation easier, making it cost and time effective. Dynamo, along with Revit, if you can see in here, these are the site data that we are collecting and just placing a site to understand uh, how the shadows are going to place. These are the sheets that we have created. These are the schedules that I have been talking about. How the schedules are made using the 3D. This is the Dynamo along with Revit and can be used. So Dynamo can be used in creating complex geometries based on construction objectives. Creating walkthroughs and interior models helps you to focus on architectural design more. Each element is placed in Revit is so you just have to place doors and window once and it will appear in all the views. So you can see this is the amount of realistic materials that comes when we are designing in Revit. These are the construction details that we have provided in here. And so Revit comes as a whole design software from 3D views to construction documentation to building data and create the construction details needed to build a design.
B.I.M workshop which we have considered and which we have done for this batch. It's morely meant for the students and for the professionals who are into and looking for the for AEC construction, basically architecture, engineering, construction industries. For them, this workshop is going to add on a lot of values to that. So as you can see over here, we are going to have some parametric modelings. So what is parametric modeling? Is not like the parametric facades which we do. Like each and every element in Revit, it is going to be a family, as Aishu explained. Like each and everything is a family, so it is going to give us a data. Okay, it's going to give us a data, and each and every data will be making a database, and everything schedules the data, everything we can try to mix up and make one module. Like in our building we have HVAC, we have MEPs, we have lot of services, we have PHE, we have electrical, we have mechanical, right? All these datas we'll try to put in one model, basically, which is we use Revit. We have a lot of BIM softwares, but Revit is the one which is highly used all over world. I believe that India is slightly outdated according to the other industries, but now we have a really good scope, and we are looking forward for this software. So that's why we wish to we wish to do this workshop too, all the people. So like we can do automations, we can do collaborations, as also the most and important thing is we can do coordinations. Like these days, like for MNC companies, we are looking forward with people who would likely find the clash detection. The software itself will show the clash detections. Like we can't do the old school ways, like we used to do AutoCADs, we used to combine all the types of services, right? We have drawings from the consultants, basically consultants like HVAC consultants, MEP consultants, right? And we try to merge everything in AutoCAD, and we used to do that. But Revit, in other hand, we like to have some plugins in that. It helps us to find out the clash detections very easily. That's why it's really helpful for and scheduling. It has made amazingly energy analysis, rendering presentations, and as well as the construction documents. So that's why we would like to also use some of the advantages of Revit architecture and as well as Dynamo Studio, and we have BIM 360 where we can try to use, or it's provided by Autodesk only. It's going to be a cloud based access. We can use everything. We can document our site. So these days, like clients are asking us to provide the models so that after 100 years also, like the big projects which I'm talking about, after 100 years also, if they want to do any correction to their building, ठीक है, so that will help this software, whereas Revit, this model will likely to help, like where are the clashes, we can take a photograph from the site and we can, it will clearly update in the model. So these types of things we will likely to learn in this workshop. And some again mastering of benefit, advantages and mastering in the software specifically, like improve on-site collaboration and communication, model based cost estimations, visualize projects in pre-constructions, better for coordinations and clash detections, as Aishu also mentioned, is very helpful, like migrate risk and reduce cost, improve scheduling and sequences, increase productivity in prefabrications. Like prefabrication is something like uh, we do all the fabrications, and we do with the help of these working drawings, everything will be prefabricated and will be brought to the site and assembled at the site. It is going to save us the cost, the time and everything. That's called a project management, and this is a really helpful software to help on this. So these are some of the advantages of mastering BIM Revit.